Hey everybody, welcome back to Dad Does Videos. Today we are going to show you how to paint your vent. A lot of times people in their homes like it when their vent looks like it's blending into the wall. So that's what we're going to do today. And depending upon what kind of vent you have, you may opt to just take it down and paint it, or take it down and put in a new one. What we're going to do is take this old builder grade one down and put in a new one. Regardless, the first step is to take this one down. So you'll see there are some Phillips head screws, one here and one there. You just get your Phillips head screwdriver, turn to the left and take those out. Now you're going to want to save those, and I like to actually paint the tops of those to blend in with the new paint color on the vent. So regardless of whether you are going to paint your current vent or get a new one, I'd suggest keeping the screws that are on there. They already fit into the wall, and just paint those. We'll show you the next step. Okay, so here's what the hole looks like after you take your vent out. In some houses, this is what mine looks like, obviously. Don't get too freaked out if you see something like this in your house, depending upon the builder. They oftentimes spray paint the inside of the vent black like this. That way you can't see as much the studs and the drywall when you're looking through the vent. So it's just a cosmetic thing. So if yours looks like this or it doesn't look like this, not a big deal. Just a precaution there if you take it off and it's all black. It's not mold or something like that. It's just cosmetic. Hey, just a tip here as we get ready to paint our new vent. If you go to the store and get a new one, and I got this from one of the big box retailers, you're gonna see dimensions on them. And these are not the dimensions of the actual vent. What they mean by this is these are the dimensions of the actual hole in your wall that you put the vent on. So just a word to the wise, you might want to measure that before you go to get a new vent, if that's the option that you'd like to proceed with. So we're gonna unwrap this and we'll go ahead and show you the next step. Okay, so we unwrapped our new vent and you'll see some steel wool here. My opinion is that if you scratch up the surface of your vent, the paint adheres to it a little bit better than if you did not do that. So just go to the store, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever big box retailer you'd like, pick up some steel wool and just run this over all the places that you're going to paint. You'll see that it makes a big difference. Instead of having to paint this 3 or 4 times, 3 or 4 coats on it, you'll just need to do it twice and the paint just sticks to it better. It doesn't peel off or anything like that. So it just makes a nice smooth surface for your painting job. We're gonna go ahead and do that and get started painting. Okay, so once you've done your work with the steel wool, make sure the dust is off of your vent. And this is just one suggestion. This is what I like to do. If you have a few paper plates in your house, just pop up the ends of your vent on a couple paper plates. They do a nice job of just making sure they lift off of whatever surface it is. They're easy to paint around. And then the screws that you had that you already took off, or if you've gotten new ones, I have new ones over here, but I'm gonna reuse the ones that came off of the vent I already used because the holes are the same size. They already go in. I don't have to drill new holes. I like to put them on a paper plate and just have them stuck in there so I can easily just paint the top. So we're gonna go ahead and put the first coat on this. Hey everybody, just an update here. We've got the first coat on, and as you can see some white spots here and there, but if you've ever painted a wall, this should be pretty normal for you. No need to be concerned about it. After you get the second coat on, those will disappear. One thing I didn't mention at the outset of this is the type of brush I like to use, and it's just a suggestion. You can see on here, it looks like it's a 3/8 brush. I like it because it's big enough to cover a lot of spaces at once and to get into these slats, but also small enough where it's easy to handle and you don't have paint running all over the place. But I think everybody's different, so just a little tip. So here's our vent after our second coat of paint, and as you can see, if you recall, a lot of those white spots that were here before have all all disappeared because of that second coat. And everything looks perfectly good. And if you have a couple little white spots here and there, I would say just to forget about them. You're not going to be looking at your air vent that much while you're in your room. It'll just kind of blend into the wall. And as you can see, we've got our screws painted as well. So the next step after this is to just put this back up on your wall. So I just put our new painted air vent up, and as you can see, it blends right into the wall. It looks much nicer than the white vent that was there before. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and like.